Joining me in the studio right now, the head of the vocal department at the Faculty of Music at the University of Manitoba, Mr. Mel Braun. Welcome to Classic 107. This is your first time.
It is. Thanks so much for having me. It's just terrific.
Oh, maybe it would help if I turned on your mic.
There we go. Are we on?
We're
good.
on. We're
well,
good.
It's lovely to be here. Thank you so much.
And what a beautiful voice to be joining me on the radio.
Well, you know.
So, Mel, you're here because the faculty is doing its 25th annual concert, Lost and Found at the
gas station.
At the
theater.
gas station
Yes.
theater.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just drew a blank there, even though I have the program right in my hand. This is an amazing program. 25 years.
Well, it's funny. The Faculty of Music's been around for a while. I joined back, I think, in 1987 or 88 as a sessional teacher, and was asked to take on the existing opera theater. And one of the first things I was interested in doing was taking it into theaters in the community. And so that's what we started doing. And this is our 25th year. We've done West End Cultural Center. We've done a number of places, but our favorite haunt has been the gas station theater.
It's a great theater, the
Yes,
gas
it is.
station.
Yep.
Why was it so important for you to take it out into the community?
Well, part of it was that we wanted for our students to experience what it was like to be part of a theatrical production. I think before my time, the operas were always done at the Faculty of Music, which has a concert hall. But that's so different. There's none of the same facility for lighting. There's none of the same facility for wings and space, all those things that come with the theater. And since we do opera on the economical front, we have to do it as cheaply as possible. So it's Value Village and great lighting. It really does depend on a theater and on a theater technician. The fellow we have at gas station, Todd Drader, is amazing. And with his help, we're able to create these worlds. It's not... what would you say? It's not a concert acoustic in the gas station theater, but I guess 2-3 years from now, some of us have been calling it the fullness of time. When we have our new building, we're going to have a real theater of our own with a pit and with all the facilities, and we'll probably say goodbye to gas station at that point. But it's a long dream that we've had coming.
That's
and,
very exciting. I had
really,
no idea.
Really is. Yes, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so tell us, what would we hear at one of these concerts? What will we hear tonight and tomorrow night?
What we do is we have the student body is about 60 singers at the Faculty of Music, and each of them is in 2 ensembles. A choral ensemble, one of the singers some of them would be in university singers or in women's chorus, and they're in a stage ensemble, either the opera theater or the musical theater. So we have about 35 students in this, and what we do is we combine students from first year right through to the master's degree, and we choose scenes that feature them, and we'll teach them the ropes, and as they develop from year to year, help them to build their strengths. So there's a lot of training obviously in the singing, but a lot of training in languages, in acting, in movement. So what you'll see tonight are 4 scenes that we picked to feature the ones we have this year. So I'll quickly go through them if it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start with a half-hour scene in Russian, no less. We taught our kids Russian.
Wow.
From Onegin, the opera by Tchaikovsky. Then an opera in French, scenes from Dialogue of the Carmelites by Poulenc. Then after intermission, and 2 Italian pieces, one from 1743, which is very hot and sexy, so I don't know about this, but it's by Francesco Cavalli.
I was surprised by that.
I know.
It's early music.
It's early music, but those guys left few stones unturned. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Don Giovanni, which is the ultimate bad boy opera. And so it just turned out that we had the students for these scenes this year.
Right.
And I think what you'll find is a lot of very fine upcoming performers. Some of them are in their 4th year, some in masters. Some are graduating and will be going on to other degrees. Some are going to be back for a couple more years because they're just in 1st and 2nd year. But it's a real litmus test. And over the years, we've been able to produce, we've been fortunate to be able to work with and bring along a lot of very fine young singers that have as you know, made their way out into the larger community.
Well, I was just going to say, to those listening, don't kid yourself. Just because these are students, these are incredibly talented students.
Yeah, these guys can sing.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to name a few of the incredible vocalists that have come out of this program.
Well, the name that has been on everybody's lips the last couple of months has been Andriana Chuchman, who graduated, I can't remember the year now, but I still remember the excerpts that she was in, and made her debut recently with the Met. Who have we had? Gregory Dahl back in the 90s, who is a fixture on Canadian stages now as sort of the go-to Verdi baritone. Ben Heppner had one of our graduates, Ileana Montalbetti, opposite him in Peter Grimes in Toronto. So there's a longer list, but
just a few of the highlights.
Just a few of the highlights.
So Mel, what's in the water? What's going on at your faculty that you are able to find and mold such amazing singers? I mean, I never say anything bad about Manitoba because there's so much talent in this province. It's nuts. Yes. But not really known as the opera capital of the world.
It's funny. I have a hand in pop music too, because my family, my kids, and all my nephews are rock and roll musicians, and it's the same deal there. We have, what do? We have curling, we have rock and roll music, we have great classical stuff because of all the choral stuff. Is it the winters? I'm not sure. But I do believe, directly applying to our situation, is that Manitoba still has one of the strongest choral music education programs in schools of any of the provinces. There are music specialists, as I understand, in most school divisions. So in a lot of schools around the province, kids get to sing in choirs. They get to do the school musicals. They get going on all that stuff. We're also, an ethnic center. It's not just the Mennonites that, amongst myself included, who do this. I mean, there's the Ukrainians, there's the English, the Scottish, and there's all the other, there's the Polish groups here in town. There's large numbers of different groups, and each of them brings their tradition. And you put all that together, and we usually find, we just went through our auditions for the coming year, that the strongest singers come out of our own backyard. The talent is there. These kids are great musicians. And we have been very fortunate at the faculty to be able to put together a strong group of teachers. It's, as I was explaining to you earlier, we have 2 full-time voice teachers, but 7 from the community, the Tracy Dahls, the Lois Watsons, the Valdine Andersons, the Monica Huismans. So people with this experience in the professional world giving back to kids. And then you put that together with having a vocal coach who's wonderful, Laura Lowen, an opera director, Catherine Twaddle, who knows how to teach these kids and work with them. So it's this team effort that we've put together. And so we tend to work from a collaborative model. I mean, the prairies have always been a place where co-ops were a way of surviving.
That's right.
And so in a way we've created a vocal cooperative there. And I think all those factors together have helped us to nurture this talent.
Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you.
And keep up the incredible work. My last question for you, why are you calling the concert Lost and Found?
Oh, yeah, good question. Well, it's about a lot of people looking. They look for loves that they've lost. Don Giovanni would be an example. All the 3 women in the sextet scene have all had a relationship with him. And it's a fluid relationship that keeps changing. In the Onegin excerpt, there's the young girl who's a dreamer looking for her love and who fatefully chooses perhaps not the best object for her love. There are other people that have lost their way and are searching for things. So some find, some lose. It's a typical opera plot, sitcom plus.
Well, Mel Braun, thank you so much for coming into Classic 107. So Lost and Found, performing for 2 nights, tonight and tomorrow night, starting at 8 o'clock at the Gas Station Theatre, which is on River Avenue. And will you tell us about tickets and how people can get them?
Yes, there are tickets available at the door, and I think they're $15 for adults and $10 for students. So just come, and we'll find a place for you.
And witness of what's to come in terms of opera talent coming out of this city. Okay, well, thank you so much, Mel. We need to play a little bit of opera.
Sure.
How about some music from Don Giovanni?
Sweet choice.
Senti mi piace quel che ragazza